One Piece chapter 1148. It is titled Royna. The cover page consists of Yamato and her new retainers. OTM page 1. They are delivering a hat that was made by Otama to Kawamatsu. But y'all don't care about that. Y'all don't care about that. Let's get into chapter 1148's breakdown. We know that the children, they are hostages. Well, now it's really being put into action because the kids, they at first appeared to just be walking aimlessly in a straight line throughout the Elbaph forest. However, all of a sudden, one of them makes a sharp turn following an arrow. The child, their name is Royna. She's walking towards the end of the cliff, or I guess technically the edge of the branch because it's the treasure tree atom. And as Royna is walking the plank, at first she was like, hey, it's not that big of a deal, until she looked down. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't like heights. I probably would have passed out on the spot, because if she ends up falling, she's going to fall into the underworld and die. And well, she's not Kaido. She's definitely not surviving that plummet. Sommers is giving Draw 30 seconds to order the teachers to set fire to the library and to the school, since that would be the way of showcasing the Giants' loyalty to the Holy Knights. And the Giants, they are definitely in a pickle, because if it were up to me, I wouldn't have hesitated to save the children. And I guess that's probably what a lot of them feel, but that's exactly what the Holy Knights want them to do. Gunko, she already talked about how the Giants, their strength, it sways the tide for the final war. So it's not as simple as just wanting to save the kids. And although it may sound heartless, you actually have to look at the bigger picture, because there's also different history of Elbaph that's thousands of years old, and the remaining information that the Ohara scholars, which they gave their lives for, those books, they're here at Elbaph as well. So it's very tricky, and I definitely wouldn't want to be one of the individuals in charge here making decisions, because, well, we'd be screwed. Robin has had enough of sitting around doing nothing. She's ready to go and kick some ass. The Straw Hats, they're tied up, the kids are in danger, and she can't keep her emotions in check anymore. Frankie and Ripley, they're on the move as well. Dory and Broggy and the other Giants, they're going to split into groups. Some of them are going to attempt to rescue the kids, while the others are going to remain and take care of the different monsters that have been going on a rampage for the past couple of chapters. While this is going on, Sommers, he adds another stipulation to already some demanding ones. Damn, bro, like, can you give us a break? He says that you cannot save a single book from the library, because he wants to get rid of Elbaph's culture and history. And Robin, she's had enough, right? Whenever history is involved, whenever kids are involved, whenever her friends are in danger, she becomes a monster, because out of nowhere, Robin attacks Sommers with a giant palm strike. And this is where Robin versus Sommers officially start. Shout out Nico Robin. Shout out Nico Robin, because she's not giving Sommers the chance to counterattack, since she doesn't know what the Holy Knights can do, their different abilities. Obviously, she knows that they're immortal, and she knows specifically that Sommers has a devil fruit. She doesn't want to take any chance, because she doesn't know what other abilities that he can do. So she immediately follows up with her patented clutch, and as Sommers starts the regeneration process, she grabs him and jumps off the tree. Knowing that he's immortal, knowing that Sommers ate the thorn fruit, Robin, she believes that taking Sommers out of his devil fruit range is the only way that the kids can be freed. And after seeing Robin's noble attempt, Sommers, he uses his devil fruit and skewers Robin like she's a freaking kebab, or so we thought, because it was just her clone. We know Robin has had plenty of times where she uses it for infiltration or just deception, and Sommers ends up falling down. You'll see the petals that releases whenever Robin's clone goes away, and mixed with the thorns, you could technically say that the rose is complete. I think that's a really dope detail from Oda. But if you guys have made it this far into the video and you're enjoying the content, let me know by leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. I pump out different One Piece content almost each and every day. After outsmarting Sommers, Robin is attempting to free the Straw Hats, which I think this is very poetic, since in this lobby, Robin, she needed to be safe, she needed to rely on others, and now in some more recent arcs in Wano, Sanji end up relying relying on her, and then in Elbaph she's saving the straws. I think it's so dope that this is coming full circle, and now Robin, she can be someone that helps her friends. Another small detail, and I do want to put this caveat out there, it just very well could be nothing, and it could just be how Oda decided to draw Brook in this panel. But Brook, when he was captured with the other Straw Hats, he definitely had a lot more bandages than the others, and if you look at earlier in the chapter, he didn't have as many bandages compared to when Robin attempted to free them. It looks like Brook has more bandages around. Like I said, this very well could be nothing. It could just be how Oda decided to draw the two panels. But everything that has taken place, Robin's versus Sommers, it actually wasn't that long. It was only 20 seconds because there are 10 seconds left, and Sommers, who, well, he's dangling from the tree after saving himself. Low-key, he looks like Gojo here after he reached Euphoria, but hey, he's asking Jaro what his answer is going to be. Shout out Royna, because for her to be a little kid, she is brave as hell. She talks about the different things that she loves, her friends, the school, the library. So because not just her, but so many people, they care about the school and the library, Royna, she thinks that it'd be better for her to sacrifice herself rather than have those things destroyed. And obviously, she really doesn't want to die. I don't think anybody really wants to die because she is bawling her eyes out. But like I said, this is very brave, and you know, just the amount of selflessness that this takes, you don't even see some adults willing to do this. So shout out this brave little girl. And after hearing this, I mean, can you blame Jaro? He orders Angie to go ahead and destroy the library in the school, because if I hear a little girl's determination like this, I gotta give the order, man. Hearing this speech, it made Robin drop her guard, which is unfortunate because Sommers, he then took this opportunity to wrap Robin in his thorns, and he's getting ready to hit her with a thorny bat. Robin's about to get the Glenn treatment from The Walking Dead. Is that too soon? Okay, to be fair, right? Glenn kind of got his get back going against Negan in Invincible season 3. You got Mark going against Conquest, all right? Mark did his thing. Shout out SCOPPER Gaban. Shout him out because he came out of nowhere and he ended up cutting off Sommers' left arm. It's not regenerating. I do think this is pretty cool because since it's his left arm and Gaban is the left hand of the Pirate King, I just think that's a very dope detail. Gaban also says it's been a long time, or long time no see. Cut Sommers even more with a nasty attack across the chest, which appears to be Advanced Conquerors. Maybe, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I could see why Zoro was pooping bricks when Gaban was about to use a named attack, because shoot, I ain't gonna lie, I am not gonna lie, Gaban, the level of strength he has, Zoro, I'd be pooping too, bro. I would be scared out of my mind. I know that this is technically a breakdown, but I plan on saving the Gaban stuff for another video. I'll be uploading it later this week. What this attack was, the regeneration process, and what this means for other characters like Sanji, Gaban, the Gorosei, etc. It just, to me, doesn't make sense for me to talk about it here. If I plan on talking about another video, y'all would just be watching basically the same stuff. But one thing I do want to mention is that it sounds like Sommers and Gaban had an interaction before. Maybe it was at God Valley because the Holy Knights were there, but it could also be another time before that, or maybe it was after that as well. Also, Gaban has the ability to bypass the Holy Knight's immortality. Now, whether this causes the regeneration just to be slower or that they can't regenerate entirely, I'm not sure. Nevertheless, this is something that Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, that they're going to have to learn because, well, they're going to be fighting the Gorosei again, probably during the final battle. And if this is some application of Conqueror's Haki, well, I already know the community, they're going to have a lot of mixed feelings about that. I wonder if Sommers is going to try to use either Colleen or Ripley, since she's headed that direction. If that, he's going to probably try to do something underhanded and, you know, potentially threaten them, and that's the way that Gaban is going to lose. And this would cause the Straw Hats to save him compared to Sabaody, where Rayleigh had to save them. Not anything related to strength, right? This is not saying that Gaban is weak or anything like that, right? the circumstances that painted this picture. I just think that this would be very poetic and just a plus for the Straw Hats development compared to, well, when they had to be saved by another member of the Roger Pirates. But that's it for chapter 1048. There's supposed to be a break next week, so this hopefully, ideally, this is going to go up on Sunday. We don't have a One Piece episode today, and that way I can do my Gaban video on Tuesday and the Luffy Kizaru video on Thursday. But let me know how you guys feel about this in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video from me. Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok is on the screen and in the description below. And don't forget to unleash your potential.